Welcome to Target 190 AS Academy. If you like this video, please subscribe, like and share this video. ஸோ நம்ம ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் 8th டேர்ம் 2ல் சயின்ஸில் எலக்ட்ரிசிட்டி லெசனில் ஆல்ரெடி நம்ம ஒன் வேர்ட் பார்த்தாச்சு. ஸோ நம்ம இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ப்ரீஃப்லி ஆன்சர்ஸ் அண்ட் டீட்டெயில் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் பற்றி பார்க்கலாம். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஹவு சார்ஜஸ் ஆர் ப்ரொடியூஸ் பை ஃப்ரிக்ஷன். த ஆன்சர் இஸ் இன் பேஜ் நம்பர் 13. Rubbing certain materials with one another can cause the buildup of electric charges on the surfaces. So, charges are transferred by friction. Second question, what is earthing? The answer is in page number 22. Earthing is a process of connecting the exposed metal parts of an electrical circuit to the ground. What is electric circuit? The answer is in page number 18. The path through which electrons flow from one terminal to another terminal of the source is called electric circuit. What is electroplating? The answer is in page number 21. The process of depositing a layer of one metal over the surface of another metal by passing electric current is called electroplating. Fifth question, give some usage of electroplating. The answer is in page number 21. Electroplating is applied in many fields. We use iron in bridges and automobiles to provide strength. However, iron tends to corrode and rust. So, a coating of zinc is deposited on iron to protect it from corrosion and formation of rust. Chromium has a shiny appearances. It does not corrode, it resists scratches. ஸோ நம்ம இப்போ என்ன பார்க்க போகிறோம்னா ஆன்சர் இன் டீட்டெயில். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொஷின் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் 3 ways ஆஃப் சார்ஜ் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர். ஸோ எப்படியெல்லாம் சார்ஜ் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆகுது அப்படிங்கிறது 3 ways இருக்குது. ஸோ அது என்னென்ன ways அப்படின்னு சொல்லி பார்க்கலாம். Transfer of charges takes place in the following 3 ways. Transfer by friction, transfer by conduction, transfer by induction. So, rubbing certain materials with one another can cause the build-up of electric charges on the surfaces. So, charges are transferred by friction. For example, if the hair is wet, the friction between the hair and the comb reduces, which will reduce the number of electrons transferring from hair to comb. So, second one is transfer by conduction. Charges can be transferred to an object by bringing it in contact with a charged body. This method of transferring charges from one body to other body is called transfer by conduction. For example, when the ebonite rod is rubbed with woolen cloth, electrons from the woolen cloth are transferred to the ebonite rod. By ebonite rod will be negatively charged. When it is brought near the paper cylinder, negative charges in the rod are attracted by the positive charges in the cylinder. When the cylinder is touched by the rod, some negative charges transfer to the paper. Hence, the negative charges in the rod are repelled by the negative charges in the cylinder. So, third one is transfer by induction. So, the process of charging an uncharged body by bringing a charged body near to it but without touching it is called induction. For example, we saw that we can charge an uncharged object when we touch it by a charged object, but it also possible to obtain charges in a body without any contact with other charges. What is electroscope? Explain how it's work. So the answer is in page number 16. An electroscope is a scientific instrument used to detect the presence of electric charge on a body. An electroscope is made out of conducting materials, generally metal. It works on the principle that like charges repel each other in a simple electroscope. Two metal sheets are hung in contact with each other. They are connected to a metal rod that extends upward and end in the knob at the end. If you bring a charged object near the knob, electrons will either move out of it or into it. This will result in charges on the metal leaves inside the electroscope. If a negatively charged object is brought near the top knob of the electroscope, it causes free electrons in the electroscope to move down into the leaves, leaving the top positive. Since both the leaves have negative charge, they repel each other and move apart. If a positive object is brought near the top knob of the electroscope, the free electrons in the electroscope starts to move up towards the knob. This means that the bottom has a net positive charge. These leaves will spread apart again. Third question, explain series and the parallel circuit. The answer is in page number 19 and 20. Series circuit is one that has more than one resistor, but only one path through which the electrons can travel. From the one end of the battery, the electrons move along one path with no branches through the resistor to the other end of the cell. All the components in a series circuit are connected end to end. So, current through the circuit remains same throughout the circuit, but the voltage gets divided across a bulb in the circuit. In the following series, circuit two bulbs are used as resistors. Let us consider three bulbs connected in a series. Let I be the current through the circuit and V1, V2, V3 be the voltage across each bulb. The supply voltage V is the total of the individual voltage drop across the resistor. V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. This diagram has a voltage in a series circuit. So next we move on to the parallel circuit. So in a parallel circuit there is a more than one resistor and they are arranged on many paths. This means charges can travel from one end of the cell through the many branches to the other end of the cell. Here, voltage across the resistors remains the same, but the current flow through the circuits get divided across each resistor. Let us consider three bulbs connected in a series. Let V be the voltage across the bulbs and I1, I2, I3 be the current across each bulb. The current I from the battery is the total of the individual current flowing through the resistance. I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Current in a parallel circuit. So this diagram represents current in a parallel circuit. Next we move on to the fourth question, how lightning takes places. The answer is in page number 17. Lightning is produced by discharge of electricity from a cloud to cloud or from cloud to ground. During thunderstorm, air is moving upward rapidly. This air which moves rapidly carries small ice crystals upward. At the same time, small water droplets moves downward. When they collide, ice crystals become positively charged and move upwards, and the water drops becomes negatively charged and move downwards. So the upper part of the cloud is positively charged and the lower part of the cloud is negatively charged. When they come into contact, electrons in the water drops are attracted by the positive charges in the ice crystals. These electricity is generated and lightning is seen. Sometimes the lower part of the cloud, which is negatively charged, comes into contact with the positively charged accumulated near the mountains, trees, and even people on the earth. This discharge produces a lot of heat and sparks that results in what we see as lightning. So next we move on to the last question. What is electroplating? Explain how it is done. So the answer is Page number 21. Electroplating is one of the most common applications of chemical effects of electric current. The process of depositing a layer of one metal over the surface of another metal by passing electric current is called electroplating. So, let we see the activity. So take a glass jar and fill it with a copper sulfate solution. Take a copper metal plate and connect it to the positive terminal of the battery. Connect an iron spoon to the negative terminal of the battery. Now dip them in the copper sulfate solution. When electric current is passed through the copper sulfate solution, you will find that a thin layer of a copper metal is deposited on the iron spoon and an equivalent amount of copper is lost by the copper plate. So this is an activity. Then next we move on to the electroplating working. So electroplating is applied in a many fields, applications of the electroplating. So we use iron in bridges and automobiles to provide strength. ஸோ நம்ம எலக்ட்ரோப்ளேட்டிங் என்னென்னு பார்த்தாச்சு. ஸோ அதோட ஆக்டிவிட்டி பார்த்தாச்சு. ஸோ அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸும் பார்த்திங்கன்னா நம்ம ஆல்ரெடி 7th 5th கொஷின்ஸ்லேயே பார்த்துருக்கோம். ஸோ நம்ம மறுபடியும் ஒரு டைம் வேணால் நம்ம ரீகால் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஸோ எதெல்லாம் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணுறோன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பிரிட்ஜஸில் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம், ஆட்டோமொபைல்ஸில் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம். ஸோ நிறையா இதில் வந்து நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். ஸோ அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ் நமக்கு அந்தளவுக்கு தேவைப்படாது. பட் கேட்டாங்க அப்படின்னா இஃப் தே ஆஸ்க் மீன்ஸ் டெஃபினெட்லி வி ஷுட் ரைட் திஸ் பாயிண்ட்ஸ். ஸோ நம்ம வந்துட்டு கேட்டாங்கன்னா நம்ம இந்த பாயிண்ட்ஸை கம்பல்சரி எழுதணும். ஸோ பாயிண்ட்ஸ் வந்து ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ் தான் அடிக்கடி கேட்டே இருக்காங்க. ஸோ எலக்ட்ரோப்ளேட்டிங் வந்து எங்கெங்கெல்லாம் யூஸ் ஆகுதுன்னு கேட்டிருக்காங்க. ஸோ நோட் திஸ் பாயிண்ட். ஸோ இந்த வீடியோவில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவ்வளோதான். ஸோ ப்ரீஃப்லி ஆன்சர்ஸ் பார்த்தாச்சு, டீட்டெயில் பார்த்தாச்சு. ஸோ கம்ப்ளீட்டாக வந்து கொஷின்ஸுக்கான ஆன்சர்ஸ் எல்லாமே உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஸோ ஐ திங்க் திஸ் வீடியோ வில் பி வெரி யூஸ்ஃபுல் ஃபார் யூ. தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் வாட்சிங் திஸ் வீடியோ.